Hey guys, welcome to Sensible Soul. Hey guys, welcome to Sensible Soul. Hey guys, welcome to Sensible Soul. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name's Nicole, and today we're going to do something a little different. I read this article online, I'll post it in the description, that had this list of really crazy glitch in the matrix stories, and I found the stories just so creepy and interesting that I thought it would be fun to share it with you guys on my channel and have a little spooky story time together. So these stories are all about what are known as glitches in the matrix. And if you don't know what the matrix is, it's also known as the Maya, or the reality is a simulation kind of thing is what the matrix is referring to. And what all of these things have in common is they're kind of alluding to this idea that reality is sort of a dream or an illusion, and these 5 stories kind of support that idea because they are just so crazy and so bizarre, and so that's why they're known as glitches in the matrix. So I really hope you guys enjoy it. Alright, so I got my blanket and my tea, and let's get started. It's good tea. Okay, so the first one is called Usually the Women of Your Dream. Usually the woman of your dreams is a good thing. When I was around 20, a few years ago, I kept having dreams about a woman with long, dark hair named Aurora, wrote Sarah. They were different dreams, but for some reason, her distinct face and name always ended up in them. It got to the point where I could wake up frustrated and confused, trying to Google her name to find out how I was connected to her. After a few months, she stopped showing up and I dismissed it, thinking my brain was just a scumbag. Fast forward to a few years later. It's Halloween 2009 and I'm in a car with a friend stopped at a gas station. I'm about to pull out and merge onto a highway when I get a phone call from a random number. So I stop the car, but no one answered. There was a person behind me who grew impatient, honked at me, and then swerved in front of me instead of waiting for 2 seconds for me to move. The second they get on the highway, some silver Civic loses control of their wheel, crashing into the car that swerved in front of me. I called the cops and waited at the gas station for them to come. Turns out the drivers of both cars died. It would 100% have been me if I hadn't received that phone call. Ooh. I called it back a few hours later, out of gratitude and curiosity. It rang 3 times and went to voicemail. Hi, you've reached Aurora. Please leave your name and number. I've never had goosebumps like that in my life. Sarah reached out to Aurora the next day, telling her the whole story. She also checked Aurora's social media and saw a woman with long, dark hair. She tells me she doesn't know how I got her number, and she never called me as far as she remembers. Weird. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, that one was pretty creepy. I don't know what y'all thought, but I can't believe it was the same person. Like, the name, like, the way she looked and everything. And the fact that, like, Aurora didn't even remember calling her. Like, I wonder what that's about. That's so weird. Okay, this next one is called Leave a Message After the Beep. This happened about 15 years ago, one Reddit user explained. I called my friend up and he wasn't home, so I left a message on his answering machine. I said, "Hey, it's me. Sorry I missed you. Call you later. Bye." And then I hung up and left the house. I made no other calls. Later that day, he called me back and said, "Wow, that was quite a message you left. Who was that girl you were talking to?" I was like, "What are you talking about? I wasn't talking to any girl." Well, as it turns out, the message didn't end after I said bye. I had to go over to his house and listen to this message a few times. After my initial message, there was a slight pause. And then it continued on for another 30 to 40 seconds or so, with me talking to some girl. It was my voice, but a conversation I never had with a girl's voice who I didn't recognize. You could compare it to the messages I know I did leave, and the two voices were indistinguishable. Not just the voice, but, you know, talking, mannerisms. It was my voice, along with references to my occupation and activities. Basically, in this conversation, I was talking to this girl about going skiing, but I had to go to a downtown shop and work on a car first, which totally correlated with what I was doing. Then the message stopped. It was recorded on one of those digital answering machines that recorded the message to a chip, so there was no tape I could have taken and had analyzed, unfortunately. Also, neither I nor my friend had party lines, so there's no explanation. It was very freaky. I can't explain it. Oh my gosh, that one really freaked me out. Ooh, that one really freaked me out. So sometimes when I get a little like freaked out, my eyes water, and so you might notice that happening. That one spooked me a little bit. Number 3, the man. Oh god, this one already sounds... At 3 years of age, my mom let me stay in the truck as she went grocery shopping. I wrote Parrot Tamer. That's the username. Okay. As I said, As I wait, I see an old guy walking towards the truck with an indescribable look. As if I know too much. Ugh. He stops 5 feet from the truck, looks at me for a couple seconds, and heads back to the exact way he came in. It was rather traumatic, for some reason, and very confusing at that age. That's creepy, but not exactly supernatural. But wait, it gets weirder. 5 or 6 years later, my dad was showing me home videos of us at Yellowstone, at Old Faithful. I noticed the same guy. Same look, same clothes, peering at us on camera. And at me, through the TV. Oh my god. That one. Oh my gosh. Through the TV. Oh my gosh. Something about like him just like looking through the TV. Oh, something really creeps me out about that. Like, why is he looking back? Okay. Okay, there's more. I'm freaked out just telling this. Yeah, me too. The Yellowstone video was from when I was very young. I'm thinking 1 or 2 years of age. Okay. That's the end, but okay, that one was pretty creepy. Like, I think the part that really creeped me out the most was just like I said, like just he was looking at him through the TV. Oh gosh. Nope. No thanks. Alright. Hang on. Tea break. Okay. So, number 4. Quite a few strange doppelgangers. I was at a friend's place back in 2008, wrote one Reddit user. They've since deleted their account. When we were all teenagers, we had a cool shed at a friend's place where we would hang out every weekend. It had 4 sets of bunk beds, tables, a fireplace, TV, fridge, the whole lot. One night, he left the shed to use the bathroom. He walked out of the front door of the shed and turned right, then stopped suddenly. Now let me explain the layout here. He wrote. As you walk out the shed, his house is to the left. To the right is where we all parked our cars. Further out, you're left with empty fields and trees. It was dark by now. The light from the house illuminated the space between the house and our cars, but trailed off just past where we walked. As I took a step to the right, intending to go behind the cars to relieve myself, I saw my friend's older brother standing there. I watched him for a good 5 to 10 seconds as he stood there facing the darkness. So he was just like staring at the forest. He then proceeded to walk behind a couple trees and a car before he disappeared. Confused, I walked back into the shed and asked my friend what his brother was doing by the cars. The conversation went as follows. Me. Hey man, what's your brother doing by the cars? Him. What do you mean? Me. He just walked off behind the cars. Brother. I'm right here. I looked over, and there his brother was, sitting down on one of the chairs with a drink. He was wearing the exact same clothes as I saw him in, and the only way to get into the shed was through the door that I was standing in the way of. To this day, I have no idea how it all happened. I'm guessing I was just seeing things, but the fact that I watched him walk around for a good 10 seconds has me puzzled. I've never had anything like this happen. Okay. That one was good. Ooh-wee. I wonder what that thing was. I wonder if it was a glitch in the Matrix or if it was like something. I don't know. That one's pretty scary. Okay, and this is the last one, and this is the title is If You're Not Freaked Out Yet, This Story Should Fix That. So I saved the best for last. Without further ado, here's the last glitch in the Matrix story. Okay. My dad used to get up around 3 a.m. every morning for work, wrote Desk Jockey 26. Starting at a very early age, I would wake up on my own and wander downstairs to see him before he left. One morning, when I was about 4 years old, I made it to the bottom of the stairs and noticed the front door was ajar. I opened it up and saw my father in his favorite work shirt making his way down the driveway to his truck in his typical work outfit, plaid shirt and dickies. I swung the door open wide and yelled for him to come back for a hug before he left. He turned slowly and just stared at me and started walking back towards the house. He was looking so strangely at me that it started to scare me. I began crying and asking what was wrong. Just as he had almost reached me, a pair of arms encircled me from behind in a bear hug. I turned my head to see my understandably freaked out father staring at his doppelganger in the same outfit. The double took one look at my dad and ran down the driveway. Meanwhile, my dad yanked me in the house and locked the door. Weirdest morning ever. Never did quite figure that one out. I would not trust my 4-year-old memory of the event if it wasn't also witnessed by my father. He won't talk about it in these days, but my mother has since told me that he called out of work and she spent the day reassuring him he wasn't a nutcase. Oh my gosh, guys, I have like goosebumps like all over my entire body. That one's crazy. Whew. Well, you guys, I hope you enjoyed these 5 glitches in the Matrix story. I hope they gave you chills and gave you something to think about how it's possible for something like this to possibly happen in reality. I know some of them are Reddit stories, so I can't fully vouch for the credibility of all of them, but either way, they're good stories, so I hope you had fun listening to them because I had fun reading them. I'll be posting another lunar tarot reading video later this week, and I hope to see you then. Bye, guys!
What do I mean by reality?